Okay, today we're going to talk about controlling fertility. We're going to look at methods to treat infertility, and we're going to look at contraceptives as well. So first of all, infertility, or if you're infertile, it means that you can't reproduce naturally. Now there might be several different reasons for this, but we're going to learn about a couple of things which can be done in case people are infertile. So the first one that we're going to learn about is Clomiphene Therapy. Now what Clomiphene Therapy is some women don't ovulate, so they don't release their eggs naturally. So as a result, this drug here called Clomiphene can cause the body to release these two hormones, FSH and LH. This stands for follicle stimulating hormone, and this stands for luteinizing hormone. Now what this does is actually the FSH travels in the blood because it's a hormone. It travels to the ovaries and causes the eggs to mature. And then the LH, the luteinizing hormones, causes ovulation. So Clomiphene actually allows the eggs to be released from the ovaries. Then they could be fertilized by its sperm. Next up, the other way that we could use to treat infertility is a process called IVF. This stands for in vitro fertilization. So this is actually done in a lab. So what can happen is egg cells can be taken from the ovary. So there's a procedure to remove these egg cells. So the egg cells go into a petri dish in a lab, and then we can add in the sperm cells within the lab. So actually, the fertilization is happening in vitro. So that's happening kind of in the lab. Now what happens is once fertilization has occurred, we form an embryo. That's just a developing ball of cells that will become the fetus and then the baby. So once we have the embryo, we can then put the embryo back into the uterus here, and then hopefully it can implant in the wall here and the baby can develop. So that is how IVF works, in vitro fertilization. Okay, so we can't just control infertility. We could also use hormones as a means of contraception. So what contraception means is just a way of stopping someone getting pregnant. So the third one we need to know about is if we have progesterone. So progesterone is a hormone. So there's kind of two main ways that progesterone can be given. One is in the mini pill. So this is just a pill that can be taken orally. So that's taken by swallowing it on a kind of daily basis. And we also have the injection. So this is an injection that women can have that contains progesterone. So what does this actually do? So what progesterone does is it causes a build-up in cervical mucus. Cervical mucus. Now what this does is it actually means if there's all of this mucus is built up in around the cervix, so around here, it means that sperm can't actually get through. So it means that fertilization could not happen because the sperm will not be able to get to the oviduct to fertilize the egg cell. Now that's one hormonal method. Another hormonal method is called the combined pill. Now the combined pill, this contains progesterone, but it also contains estrogen. So these are both hormones that can be used in contraception. So if we've constantly got high estrogen concentration, it actually means that the FSH production is actually inhibited, so it's actually stopped. Now, what this means is that eggs do not mature, and therefore these eggs are not released from the ovaries. So that's the action of estrogen. But remember, it's combined, which means it also contains progesterone. So it also produces this thick cervical mucus that the sperm cannot get through. Finally, we need to know about barrier methods. Ooh, wrong colour. We need to know about barrier methods. So the two barrier methods we need to know about are condoms and the female diaphragm. So all these is a condom is a latex device that goes over the penis, and it literally acts as a barrier. So the penis enters here in the vagina. If the person is wearing a condom over their penis, it means that the sperm are caught within the condom and they will not reach the egg. So it's just a physical barrier just to stop the sperm cells reaching the egg. Also, the diaphragm is a device that fits around here, just between the vagina and the uterus. So it fits just below the cervix, and it stops the sperm being able to get through to the egg cells. So these are both barrier methods. Now, the only one out of all of them, the only one that stops the spread of STIs is the condom. That is the only one out of all of them. And the negative side as well about some of these hormones, for example, using estrogen or progesterone, is it can really affect acne, and it can also cause problems with mood swings as well. So those are the different ways of controlling infertility in Clomiphene therapy and IVF. And these are the different ways of controlling fertility. These are the hormonal methods. This is the barrier method. And remember, condoms are the only ones that prevent the spread of STIs. That means sexually transmitted infections. Thank you.